guys, back again for another review. I'm Damien.
Big Tom.
Big Tom. As you can hear, Big Tom actually has a bit of a sore throat today. So, I mean, he's not going to say much. There's a shocker. But yeah, he's a little bit, you know, under the weather. Got a bit of a sore throat on the firm, bit of a chest infection. So, I'm going to be doing most of the talking for a change. Today, we are back again with some of the Clone Wars. We got something special again today, and well, should we do it both at the same time?
Yes, you will.
One of these is real, and one of these is fake. Oh yes, it's the Brass Nemesis clone. Which one's which? Ah, I have the fake in my hands, and Tom has the real thing. When we did the Nemesis clone review, you know, the VW version Nemesis clone off of Fast Tech, a lot of people started putting in the comments that the brass one had started to surface and was being sold. So basically, you know, I got a bit inquisitive. I searched online, and then it came up on Fast Tech, and I thought, well, you know, seeing they got the better of me, I really wanted to grab one and see if it was any good. And it is. It's not, well, there are some slight differences. You know, you are going to be able to tell what's the clone and what's real for now, because as I noticed with the VW clone that I had, the first one I had basically had air holes at either side underneath the Angel. And then I traded that, I gave that to somebody and they gave me something in return. Then I got another one just out of the hell of it to check on what all these people were saying on the comments, that basically theirs were bang on. And I got another one, and the holes underneath the vent hole were then underneath the Angel. Although my tubes don't match up on colour, you know, mass produced bullshit. I've got number 10,168 or something on my second one. But yeah, so, I mean, this one for now, the differences I've found on this compared to the real thing, the air holes in the top cap AFC are a lot bigger on the clone than they are on the real thing. And it's actually completely flat and flush all the way up on the clone, whereas the real one is slightly more rounded and comes out a little bit more. And it's got more of a rounded sort of edge on the bottom button, compared to sort of the straight and sharper bottom button on this fake. The Angel at the moment, obviously on my one, it's a little bit faded from the polishing and from use. On this one, it's pretty still dark and coloured. You'll be able to see more on the close-up. But yeah, I got this for like 15 quid on Fast Tech. I mean, it took a month to get here. It was a long time. But yeah, 15 fucking pounds, and it's the quality on it, it's for 15 quid, it's amazing. I don't really know what more to say. I've already gone fuck you to all the clone makers out there, and they've basically gone fuck you right back and cloned my favourite mod. You know, the weight on it, it's, you think it's slightly heavier?
I do, yeah. Look, just a tad.
Just a tad. I mean, the threads are great. The brass is nice brass, you know, it shines and polishes up pretty much like the real thing. The colour is bang on to the real thing. Fuck me then.
What's the serial number?
Oh, the serial number on my clone, hey, this is pretty cool. I got number 87. So I was pretty fast on the Fast Tech drawer there, you know. Someone, oh, there's a brass on Fast Tech. I was straight on it. I was like, no, you bastard, basket. You know, it took a month to get here, so I don't know what they are now. But yeah, I mean, on the picture on Fast Tech, it actually said Nemesis on the back there. So I thought, oh, am I going to get a Nemesis? And that I could have maybe handled a little bit better. Gone, haha, they fucked up on that. They've got Nemesis. You really could be able to spot it's a clone. But no, it's Nemesis. It's like I said, apart from the fact that the top cap has got bigger air holes and it's flatter and a bit more sharper, and the bottom button is sharper, it's pretty bang on. I mean, you noticed that the air holes were a little bit different on either or, but yeah, you know, it's not going to really, you know, bother anybody. It's a fucking fine clone. It's a really good clone. I mean, I've got the magnets in this one. It's the spring in the clone, but so the button's a little bit You hear that? A little bit crunchy, a little bit clunky. But I mean, you can get that with the springs on the true Nemesis. That's pretty much why the magnet upgrades were given to us, apart from the fact as well that you don't have to lock the ones with the magnets upgrade when you set it down. Although I do lock them anyway, because then they're a bit more sturdy to stand on. It's got the fucking steam train on the bottom of the clone, you know. That's not a bad engraving actually, the steam train. It's
bang on.
It's bang on. The Angel's a little bit, it's got a lot of ink in it at the moment, but I mean, after a few weeks use and a bit of polishing on it, that's going to dull down. Like I said, I mean, you can tell this is better quality. You can tell this is been better made, and it's handmade and nice and a bit more rounded, a bit more sort of finessed. But I mean, from a distance, I mean a small distance, literally a few feet away, or not a foot away, you're not even going to be able to tell. If you were to go on to @Mummy Honey, then and to get the sort of the flat top cap for this, you ain't gonna fucking know. You just ain't. It's pretty shocking. What has the world come to? You know, people could go, oh, you shouldn't do clones, don't endorse these products. I'm not endorsing them at all. We review anything we can get our grubby little mitts on. It's just, if you're going to spend your money on it, you want to know all about it. That's what we do, you know. We've got to sort of show you the benefits and the cons and the pros and all that. I mean, I own high-end mods. I also own clones because I like to review things. We like to entertain whilst we're at it. So before you start jumping on the comments and John jumping down our throats and you shouldn't do this, well, somebody's got to fucking do it, you know. So might as well be us. There you have it. They have a Brass Nemesis clone on Fast Tech for £15. It takes about, well, I mean, the shipping's all up in the air at the moment because of Hong Kong and things like that, and they're now changing their shipping policies, so hopefully they're saying they're going to be quicker to you. Don't hold your breath. It took a good, I've ordered these, I think it was about the 17th of October. Yeah. We are now on the 20th of November, so it landed with me yesterday morning. Opened it up and nearly cried. Like I said, you know, the brass cost me £130 from FinVape, and the real one, and the fake one cost me fucking 15 quid from Fast Tech. So you know, what can you do? They're going to sell them. They're going to make them, and we're going to buy them, or you're going to buy them. I mean, I'm going to continue buying my high-end mods because I like it, you know. And a lot of people, I've noticed a lot of people as well going, why does everyone get so fussy and it's just a battery tube and it's all this? And I'd just like to say, while I'm on this video, it's a little bit more than that. I mean, we were all smokers, you know, and we were all smokers that, well, the majority of us, especially vapers, were smokers that wanted to quit, but we couldn't. There was no way out for us. We tried the gums, we tried the nicotine patches, we tried fucking whatever we could in the world. We tried hypnotherapy, we tried everything, and it didn't work. Vaping worked, but it wasn't, it became more than that. It started a community of people, it started a hobby, it became something that could take your mind completely away from smoking. Not one point since I quit smoking, since I've been vaping, have I thought, I fancy a cigarette. A lot of people have. My wife still sometimes gets the you know, when she gets a bit of a burnt taste out of a cake. I'm like, oh, it's never happened with a fag. Well, they all tasted burnt, but we just didn't have anything else to compare it to. But it's become more than that. There's forums, there's a community, it's become a social aspect to it. People like to share their vape born, they like to fucking tell people where to get things, they like to do instruction videos and tutorials and reviews. And so it has become sort of almost like a cult, really, you know what I mean? Except we don't have some big Charlie Manson guy singing, playing guitar and telling you to kill people, yet. Give me time. But, you know, so it is more than just a battery tube. I mean, it's not... You could say it about anything. Well, why do you need a £400 fishing rod when you can catch fish on a stick with a bit of string on the end of it, as long as you've got the right bait? But people still want to spend their money. It's their right. They earn the money, they go out and they want something to focus on maybe, and they want to spend their money on something nice and have that bit of pride in themselves. So, you know, I'm not going to knock anyone for saying, oh, it's just a tube and it's just, you know, yes it is. But for some of us, for a lot of us, it's more than that. It's become this big social uprising. It's become this thing to talk about. It's taken our mind away from the cigarettes, and it's given us something to all get involved in. So that is why we do it. And, you know, I just thought I'd want to have a little rant there about it.
It's true.
But, you know, and as it comes to this clone thing and all that, and you've got one half of the fence that says, oh, I like clones, I can't afford the real thing, but I want to feel like I've got the real thing, then technically you understand what it's all about. Because if you weren't bothered about it and it was just a tube to you, you would have a Sigelli 19 and that would be the end of it. But you don't. There's a lot of you out there that will buy the clones because they want to have the real thing but haven't got the dollar. And why not? That's fine. The clones are there for you to have so you can have them. A lot of people buy the clones and then go, I like this so much, I'm going to treat myself to the real thing. And then they have that sense of pride in themselves, and then they can go, oh, I've got the real thing, this is a proper Nemesis, or this is a proper Chi-Yu, this is a proper Astro, and this is cool, this is my mod, and I deserve this because I no longer fucking smoke and I deserve the prize. And that's what you get. But for those that are really cannot afford it, or they can afford one decent one but they want 30 different mods in their mod stands or on the side, the clones are available for you as well. So this is why we do it, you know. Yeah, after that great big rant, what we'll do now is we're going to go down to the table and I'm going to stick these Brass Nemesis, the Brass Nemesis and the Bremesis, next to each other and show you how alike these two things really are. So we'll see you in a minute, guys. So here you have the two Nemesis. You have the real Brass Nemesis and you have the fake Brass Nemesis. As you can see, they're pretty damn similar. The only major difference that I've found is obviously within the top cap. On the real Nemesis, it's rounded at the top. It's more of a smooth sort of finish. The same with the button is more smooth and rounded. Whereas on the fake, it is completely aligned with the rest of the tubing, and your bottom button is a little bit sharper. When touching it there, it's a bit more squared than rounded. They both have the steam train on. The Angel is darker on my Nemesis for now, but it hasn't been used much. It hasn't had many polishes. It's had one polish to it, so therefore it's you know, it's still a bit darker, and this one's been polished, but that'll eventually fade. They both have the serial numbers and the Nemesis font on the back. Let's take the real one out. Now, if you did want to interchange, all of these are interchangeable. If I get the real one here and take off the 650 tube and top cap, it will fit. On the fake, the threading is exactly the same. And if you were an owner of the previous Nemesis clone, the VW version, and you want to interchange your kick ring, say, and your top cap, all the threads are the same, so you can do that if you wanted to go for that two-tone effect. Obviously, if you wanted to change your locking ring or your button, it can be done. They all interchange. So, you know, there's not really much more to show you on this because it's pretty bang on. And like I said earlier, there's another difference. Obviously, this has now got all the tubings on it. The other difference is your size of your air holes in your AFC on the top cap are a lot larger on the brass fake Nemesis than they are on the original Nemesis. They've been bored out a little bit more than on the real thing. But apart from that, it is spot on. It really is a very, very good fake. The only difference you can tell is from that top cap, really. There you have your fake Brass Nemesis next to your real Brass Nemesis. I'll quickly show you the button before we go. The button is exactly the same. It does have the springs in it. Obviously, you don't have the magnet upgrades as standard, but yeah, you have your silver plated pins in there. And it's exactly the same. There you have it, the real Nemesis and the fake Nemesis.
So I'm trying to talk a little bit now after we've looked after that. There is no difference. no difference whatsoever. There may be a slight thing, but whether it's the Nemesis or the Brass Nemesis, it's still awesome.
Yeah, it's vaping it down with a cable on the top. One thing you can say about the top section, because it isn't rounded, it's now proper streamlined with, say, a 22 atomizer on the top of it. I mean, it is pretty streamlined. It hits hard, you know, it does hit bloody hard. It hits like the real thing. It looks like the real thing. It would make you feel like you have the real thing. Interchangeable. You see the vent holes are underneath the Angel. You get your kick ring with it. You get your all your tubes for all your configurations landed to your door for 15 bloody pounds. Now, if you've always wanted one of these, and I must say as well about the Brass Nemesis, they are as hard to get as rocking horse shit. They are pretty hard. I was very lucky to get mine. I was searching for a little while for one. I was lucky to get it. And each batch that's been coming out since I got mine, there hasn't been brass available. It is bloody hard to get one. There might be a reason behind it. We don't know. We just have to basically assume. So if you want something that feels like the real thing, or if you want to interchange your bits with your clone Nemesis, then this ain't bad. Well, it ain't bad. It's bloody brilliant. You know, for the money, I can't have a go at it. You know, it's been cloned. There's nothing anyone can fucking do about it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it is a decent mod, and you know we do have the originals, but there's no difference. If it's exactly the same, there's a little bit with your air rolls and stuff. But
yeah, it's 99% accurate. You know, your air rolls are a bit bigger. On the one I've got, before I start getting, oh well, mine ain't. Well, on the one I've got, the air rolls are a lot bigger. You know, I showed you down on the table. The air rolls are a lot bigger, and the top cap is streamlined with your 22mm. It's exactly bang on 22mm. So, but apart from that, I mean, patina's the same. The colour is the same. It polishes up the same. It vapes the fucking same. It's a brass. It's a Nemesis. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty bang on.
It's brilliant. It is honestly brilliant. To score it, you've got to give it a 10.
For a clone?
For a clone.
I'm going to give it a 9, because obviously they have made a couple of changes. It's come off the factory line, so therefore they're not this completely flush. It's completely cut. They're a bit sharper on the edges, a tiny bit, only a small bit noticeable, but you can tell it's not as trim. It's not as sleek as the real thing. It's not as smooth, but still it's really hard to notice it unless you're sitting there, you're rubbing the edges and go, oh, it's a little bit sharper than the other one. You know, the button's great.
You can totally understand why the elite still get fucked off with this.
Oh God, yeah.
They are the same.
It does take it away, and I do understand this, you know, and I felt it when they first come out, because I had just purchased one. You save, you spend a lot of money, and you think, I own this one, I feel a little bit special inside, you know, I've got pride in it, I can go on all the forums and post my pictures up, and you know, and that's a lot of it, you know what I mean? That's a lot of what it's all about. It's a lot of showing off goes on, and fair enough, I do it. You know what I mean? I don't mind, you know what I mean? On your vape porn sites and all that. You want to show off, and you go, I've got this one, and somebody will, yeah, well, I've got this one, oh, that's really nice, and you comment, and you start up conversations, and you do things like that. So when the clones are coming out, it takes a little something away from you. If you managed to get a Brass Nemesis, if you managed to get the Chi-Yu, if you managed to get something that's really hard to get, then you have that little bit of inside. So when these things are out, and then you're going on the forums, or you're going on Facebook, and then there's 30,000 pictures of the same fucking clone. Look at my clone, look at my clone, look at my clone. You start to go, well, you know, it takes it away from how important the real one is to the individual. You know, some people don't care, but some people do. I personally believe, and that is what this clone thing is slightly damaging about. But still, why shouldn't anybody have one? It's not up to anybody to say you can have one or you can't. You know what I mean? It's up to the individual. So if they're there, if they're available, then you have every right to have it. You know what I mean? If they weren't available and all this, I mean, if they were copywritten, if they had the patent and all that, then it would be illegal and you wouldn't be able to have it, and then it'd be something to shout about. But it ain't. You know what I mean? It ain't been done right. So therefore, the world is open. So I've got a Nemesis in my hand, and there's fuck all anybody can do about it. You want a Nemesis? Go and get yourself a Nemesis. Do you know what I mean? You want a Chemesis? Get yourself a Chemesis. You want a cheapo? Get yourself a cheapo. It's your money. They're available. They'll ship them to your door. Fuck it.
But tell us, this is the thing, this is another thing that the elitists don't like, and I totally understand. If it's a clone, state it's a clone.
Well,
it's a clone.
I don't like the word elitist.
I'm sorry,
that's not really a good word to use. You know what I mean? People agree and disagree. Everybody has an opinion, and that's all this is. An opinion. That's all we have. It's our opinion. Two guys sitting in a room, spouting bullshit down a camera. It's just an opinion. We don't have no authority on anything. We just get these mods, we show you them, and we have a little chat about it. That's it. Yeah, if you've got a clone and you're trying to pass it off as the real thing and all that, that's a little bit weird. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, there are people that do that. Nobody wants to walk down the street in a fake Ralph Lauren suit or a fake Ralph Lauren shirt, and every person he passes going, this is a snipe, this is a snipe, this is a snipe, this is a snipe. You know, this is a snipe. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, there are so many snipes of all things out there, of everything, you know, and like I said, you know, if somebody asks you still, is that a fake Ralph Lauren shirt? Yeah, you know, it's just what it is, you know.
Totally agreed. Just go out and get one.
They're available. If you haven't been able to get yourself a Brass Nemesis, then get yourself a Nemesis and check it out, and it may make you hungry for the real one. It's not going to affect the sales of the real ones because there's so many people out there that don't agree with the clones, that have the money in the bank and just think, you know, bollocks, I've worked really hard this month, I'm going to treat myself. They're still going to buy them. But for those who haven't got the money, or for those who just don't agree with how much these things cost, get yourself one, because they're all right. You know what I mean? It's good. It makes you feel like you've got the real thing. It makes you feel nice. It's a good mod, whether it's a Nemesis on it or not. You know, I think a Vapor Train, they sell a Nemesis clone, but without any of the engravings on it, called the Vengeance. You know, and it's a great mod. And it doesn't have all the angel on it, it don't have Nemesis or serial numbers on it, it is just the mod, and it's a bloody good mod. They hit really bloody hard, they feel good in the hand, it's easy to interchange the tubes, nice locking ring, nice button, Bob is your uncle, Fanny is your aunt, job fucking done.
Easy. Once again, what more can we say?
And all I've got to say is, fuck you, clone makers, fuck you in your ass, fuck you. But thank you very much for the Nemesis. Yeah, £15 from Fast Tech. Don't know if this is the H cigar model. From Fast Tech, you just get them in a black box. There's so many people going, yeah, it is, no it isn't, yeah it is, no it isn't. Who fucking cares? As long as it vapes, as long as you're happy with it, as long as you think, you know, well, that was my money, I'll spend it on whatever I like, it's to the individual, and that's all that matters. So, thanks very much for watching this review. Fuck you.
And I'll be taking this real one up.
Is that the real one?
Yeah.
I can't fucking tell. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you soon. Stay safe.